Happy International Women's Day. The theme this year is Break the Bias. And as an executive leadership coach for women, I am particularly moved by this topic. I've been reading a fantastic book recently called Women and Leadership. And it's by two really influential female political leaders. And they actually interview other female political leaders from around the globe to really look at some different hypotheses about what is holding women back from making it into higher positions in politics and also in business organizations. And there are some fantastic and eye-opening discussions in there. And I have to admit, some of the times I was tutting, I was yelling, I was throwing the book around a little bit, just in frustration and awe about what is still going on in our world in terms of bias for women. And I wanted to share two particular research items that has been uncovered in the book that I found particularly interesting. So the first one is the concept of women being nice. So now we all know that it's expected that women are empathetic and collaborative and helpful, etc. But did you know in the workplace, we don't get extra brownie points for being nice to other people? But men do. Because it's unexpected behavior from men, apparently, to be nice and collaborative and helpful. So when they are, they're actually more likely to get promoted over a woman who is also nice and helpful, because that's just normal. The guy's different. The guy's going above and beyond if he's being helpful as well as male. So this bias, I'd never really heard of this quite so blatantly. But now looking back, it's interesting that kind of does happen in a lot of situations that I've seen in the workplace. And now a second idea that came up in the research is tokenism. So this is the combination between being woke and tokenism, and it has a lot to do with women on boards. So you'll know that a lot of the world has a quota for the number of women on their boards, and this might be 1 or 2 women, generally not too much more, unfortunately. But tokenism happens when they reach that quota and then they pop on one more woman on the board to show how woke they are and how much more progressive they are than they have to be. But the interesting thing is, whether it's one more or just the quoted number of women, once they reach that quota, they won't actually put any more women on the board. That's it. They just sort of wash their hands of that and say, right, that's it. We've done the best that we can possibly do. And so this really adds a scarcity and a competition for women in the workplace to try to make it onto boards. And this also happens in senior management positions. There was a study in Australia that showed that of the S&P 1500 companies, if a woman hit a senior management position, it was 51% less likely that another woman would be appointed to a similar position. So, they've done their quota. We've got a woman in management. That's it. So I was really startled by some of these statistics in this book. This is I'm barely scraping the bottom of the statistics that were really eye-opening in this book. So I would encourage you to read it. Not to be a scaremonger for my emerging female leaders out there. I just want you to be aware. Not beware, but just aware. Be aware of the biases that can be out there. And I want them to not stop you from being the best that you possibly can be and striving for exactly what it is that you want to achieve. Don't let the idea that this might happen to you hold you back, because it may not as well. There's a lot of situations that show it doesn't always happen. So just surround yourself with people that you can look up to, because that will really lift your ambitions and lift your behavior as well. It's been researched that this is actually the way. So maybe find a mentor, find a sponsor, find a coach to help you be the best that you possibly can be. So happy International Women's Day, and let's break the bias together.